I'd like to call the meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Innu, Cree, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. Today on the panel, I will be chairing. My name is Robert Hutchings. I'm joined by Diane Knight and Carrie Linklater. Our assessor representing the Assessment and Taxation Department, City of Winnipeg, is Svetlana Shabel, and our recording secretary today is Belen Rojo. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that are made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration. It makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemption from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the points of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony, followed by questioning. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence of an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. We receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We will be hearing items 1 through 6 on our docket today. Ms. Rojo, please affirm the assessor and the applicant's testimony.
Madam Assessor, please state your full name.
Svetlana Shabel.
And you affirm the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Marcelo Navarro.
And you affirm the evidence you're about to present is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you, Belen. First item on the docket today is file number 22-1249. Address is 790 Sherbrooke Street, and we're dealing with a 2023 realty assessment appeal. And I note on the docket that there are 2 points, preliminary issues to deal with here. Mr. Marceau, do you have any comments on that?
I am just opening up the file right now.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah. I believe there was a classification appeal as well.
Yes.
Okay. We will just ask for the classification to be confirmed.
Okay. Okay, thank you for clarifying that. Okay, with that dealt with, Ms. Shabel, we will start with your brief for 790 Sherbrooke Street when you're ready, please.
File number 22-1249. Roll number 130-990-69150. Address is 790 Sherbrooke Street. Owner is the Manitoba Cleaning Holding Co. Limited. We are valuing the property as a stand of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition up April 1st, 2021. This appeal with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is 14,879,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property is medical office cleaning, property size, land area 81,532 square feet. Gross floor area of subject property 163,940 square feet, and leasable area 161,500 square feet. The subject property has leases. On my page number 2, we can see several leases. It's occupied basement, main floor, and rest of the floor occupied by Manitoba Clinic. We have reported 161,850 square feet and gross lease. On page number 2, subject property picture. So red dot, it's a subject property located northwest of the city. On further page 3, 4, more subject property photos. We can see we have on page number 5, my first set of comparable office medical rent comparables. I presented 14 comparables with media $21.05, mean, and media $21.35. Let's look on my comparable. We go into the page 19 with my comparable started. Everyone there?
Is it 9 or 19?
19. You will
Okay.
be see photos of my comparables, medical offices, medical dental offices.
Would it be OFM rent comparables on page 9?
We will look on my comparables first, and after I will do specific going back.
Pardon me?
We start with medical on page 19.
19, okay, bear with us, please. Okay, is everybody there?
Yes.
Thank you.
My first comparables, first set of comparables, 1,600 Ness Avenue. We can see it's a 3-floor building, and the leases started between 2012-2018. And you can see lease, it's between $14 per square foot on third floor, $27.50 on second floor, on the main floor, $22.49, $27.50. So it's Ness Avenue, 3-floor building. My another comparable on page number 20, 2-floor building on 395 Stafford. We can see 2 medical leases by $25. First lease 2,000 square feet, $25. Another lease 672 square feet for $25. On next page 21, we have a medical clinic on 1155 Concordia. My comparable, first two comparables, main floor, third comparables, second floor, and fourth, third floor. You can see leases between $21 and $25 on main floor. My comparables on page 22, 22nd, it's a one floor building on 756 Pembina Highway. We have medical clinic on $18.18 or $18. On next started retail comparables. Let's look into, and after I will talk for them specific. On page 23, my retail comparables on 777 Sherbrooke Street. We can see rent $25 for around 70,000 square feet. On page 24, it's Shop and Drug Mart. Another Shop and Drug Mart on 2160 McGillivray Boulevard. Rent $29 per square foot for around 19,000 square feet. In my last comparable on page 25, 750 Sherbrooke. Rent $36.08 per square foot. Also, we already here on page 26, we can see actual rate of parking on April 1st, 2021. Let's do it bigger so I can see it. We can see the rent hourly $4 per square foot, daily $15 all day, or weekend, evening weekend $3.75. Number of space 237. What number? Okay, surface parking. Now we're going back to my brief. I will say what page. We're going back to page number 5. So for medical office, I have 1600 Ness Avenue, 756 Pembina Highway, 395 Stafford, and 1155 Concord Avenue. So mean $21.05, in media $21.35. On page number 6, our assessment for medical office, you can see we assess 141,819 square feet. We apply less as $14, $13.19 overall. When our potential over 2 millions, around 2 millions, we did apply 5.5% vacancy lost, 3% expenses, $8 per square foot shortfall for vacant space. In our capitalization rate, 6.8%. So our estimate value for medical office space, $25,682,000. On page number 7, we have estimation of retail space. Leasable area 19,610 square feet. We apply $29.08. Our potential rent over $500,000. Vacancy lost, we apply 6%. Expenses 3%. Shortfall $7 per square foot. In our overall capitalization rate for retail space, 7.55%. So our estimate value for retail space, $6,434,000. On page number 8, we already saw these 3 comparables for retail space. It's 777 Sherbrooke, 1155 Concordia, and 2160 McGillivray, 750 Sherbrooke. 4 comparables. Leases started between 2005 2018. It's still occupied. And our mean $28.77, in media $27. On page number 9, we will estimate value of parking structure. We have 639 stalls. We did apply monthly net units rent, dollar per stall, $80. Our annual net rent, 613,440. We apply capitalization rate 7%, so our estimate value, 8,763,000. On same page, I presented 15 comparables with 2020 reported rental rates for parking structure. So, and more comparables, actual gross parking structure rates on April 1st, 2021 on page number 10, it's 37 comparables. If you look on first on page number 9, it's what reported to us. It's our $18 in sites stabilized net operating stall per month. It's last columns. It's inside same range. And if you look on page number 10 for 37 comparables, we can see subject property line comparables 36. Sherbrooke Street, so they have monthly rate, hourly rate $4, daily rate $15, and evening weekend rate $3.75. So on page 11, income value summary. We have stream 1 office, medical office, stream 2 retail, stream 3 parking structure. Our summary, 14,879,000. Based on the evidence in this report, it is assessor opinions that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021, 14,879,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Svetlana. Marcelo, any questions of the assessor's evidence presented?
Yes, the parameters that you've used for this have not been altered in any way. These are the modeled parameters.
Yes, it's model-driven parameters, but they very well supported by market evidence presented by me.
Okay. And in terms of your comparables for leases of retail spaces, you have some Shoppers Drug Marts in here, which occupy lands, have parking. This property, this particular Shoppers Drug Mart is inside the medical clinic, correct?
Yes, it's inside in retail space.
Okay.
And they have same shopping drug mart inside.
Okay. And
if you're looking on page number 2, we have Dynacare. On page number 2, subject property leases, we have Dynacare, shopping drug mart, OMCC, Visual Eye, and Winnipeg Heart Air Center. It's everything. Dynacare, it's in basement, but on main floor, shopping drug mart, OMC, Visual Eye, and Winnipeg Heart Aid Center. It's located on main floor.
Okay. Now, in terms of the parking, I just want to focus on that for a moment. Now, your parking stabilized net operating per stall per month is on page number 9.
Mm-hmm.
This is considerably outside of the downtown. Would you agree?
Correct.
Okay, so you have quite a few here that are in the downtown. Do you have any rents that are more representative of the area in question?
I presented 15 2020 reported realtor rate for parking structure, what available for us. On
Okay.
page number 10, we have only 37 actual gross parking structure rate provided to us. So it's real numbers.
It's real numbers.
Yes, it was
so
provided.
these are okay. So did you look at the expense ratios? Yes, you have. Okay. Now, did you look at the actual income of this property?
Let's go back to income. On page number 15, we have income expense mailer provided to us. I posted. On page number 16 are use leases reported for Ortiz property.
Okay. And you'll note that on line 113 there is on line 113 there is a parking income, correct?
Yes.
And would you say that this is probably gross?
It's around 1 million. They reported around 1 million parking structure. In our net, only 500,000, so it's
Okay.
reasonable. 936 million. It's parking was collected.
Okay.
And if you look on my page number 9, net operating income will be just over 500,000. So it's reasonable.
Okay. Okay.
So $18 fair.
Those are my questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcelo. Carrie, any questions of the assessor?
My questions were asked and answered. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Diane, any questions?
Yeah, I do. On the page 15 mailer, it shows 656 stalls. On page 27, your evidence shows 237 stalls. And on your page 9, I think it is, you say 639 stalls. So which is it?
And in our record, on my page number 9, we have 639 stalls. As they reported 656 stalls, so we can look into an increased number of stalls.
So you're going with 639 even though they posted 656?
Yes,
okay.
Because same information on my page number 1.
Okay, and then you're taking the total rent is way less than what they're taking in. Okay, I got
Correct.
it. Thank you.
Anything else, Diane?
No, that's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Svetlana, I'm looking on page 11, your summary of your 3 different income streams. And the column on the left, the summary, the net operating income is $2,845,575. And I guess that's a summary of the 3 income streams on the left. But then capitalized at that rate. Now, how do I state this? The capitalized value seems to be a summary of the 3 valuations on the right side. So the net operating income of in this summary column is not capitalized by 6.96. Is that right? But actually,
yes, it's possible because it's just average. It's a summary for free stream because we can see medical, we apply 6.8.
Yeah.
7.55 and 7. It's just average of these.
Okay. All right. And I think that is my only question. Thank you very much. Marcelo, bear with us while we pull up your brief, please.
Okay.
We also have capitalization studies submitted by you and the expense study, I believe. Did you want to summarize those for us or?
I think at this point we've gone over these quite a few times already, but throughout the presentation, I'll just do a short summary of it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna go to your brief on page 12, I guess it is, of our SharePoint.
Just tell me
when you're ready, Marcelo.
Okay. So on page 2, again, this is the Manitoba Clinic at 790 Sherbrooke Street. So we have a total leasable area of 161,501, 10 stories, with an original age of 1997 to 2017. The original, I guess, what would you call tiered parking lot is the original 1997 structure. The new Manitoba Clinic was constructed in 2017. So don't let that kind of, it's a bit of an oddity because, I mean, only the tiered parking lot was constructed in 1997. We have a site area of 1.9 acres and a total realty value of $40,879,000, and we are asking for a reduction to $37,355,000. And I will skip through the intended use of the report and the intended user, the scope of the work. You'll note that we did inspect this property in 2017 when it was originally constructed. And on page 6 of 24, you can actually see the pictures and its general location in that health sciences center area. And you can also see the bird's eye view. So you can see here what I mean by the two structures. So the one to the left, which is what I call the tiered parking lot or parkade, that is the one that was built in the 1990s. And the structure to the right, obviously, is the new Manitoba Clinic. Next, you'll see some pictures of it. In terms of the parkade, we have a total of 639 stalls total. And there is a separation here in terms of the type of structure. The basement is actually leasable area, certain portions of it. And then the next 3 floors provide parking. So it's kind of an interesting design. And then floors 5 through 10 are the actual clinic itself. Now we say that the highest and best use is its current use. I don't think anybody would dispute that at this point. In terms of the approaches that we used, we went with the income approach, obviously. In terms of the office, the medical office portion, we have a rent of $14.25. Again, you can see a set of comparables there that we've looked at to justify our rent figure. I will note, obviously, that we are, I believe, a little bit higher than the assessor is in terms of the office portion. In terms of the retail portion, and you can turn to page 13. So we have a leasable area of 19,610 square feet. We have not used any of the actual leases. We have actually looked at the market for this information, and the rent that we have used is $26 per square foot. Again, we have an average there of the locations that we've used of $22.85, a median of 21, but we've gone with a higher rent of $26 per square foot. In terms of the parking lot, I will, if you can turn to page 15, So what we did is we actually looked at the actual income. And we think that this is an important thing because the parking lot income is actually telling you what this property is doing. Now, 991,664 is actually not a net income. That is a gross income. And to that, we've estimated a 45% expense ratio. Typically, we would apply anywhere between 45 and 50% expense ratio to a parkade. I believe the assessor's net operating income statement actually shows something that corresponds to that. Do you have the parking study?
Bear with us 1 second here.
I'm just going to verify also that if that actually made it to you.
The cap rate and non-recoverables.
Okay, no, then the parking study didn't make its way to you. So again, we typically apply a 45% expense ratio. We believe this is actually what the city's model actually applies also. So in terms of net operating income, we've estimated a net operating income of $545,415. And I will summarize all three portions on page 16. So I'll begin with the office section, and that is the first one that says OFM. So again, we have 141,890 square feet. We have a potential income of 2,021,933. We've applied a vacancy of 8%. Management and other non-recoverables of 7%, and a $10 per square foot shortfall amount. So that gives us a net operating income of $1,616,453. We've applied a 6.75% capitalization rate, which gives us a total value of $23,947,458. Now in the retail portion, again, 19,610 square feet. We have an potential income of $509,860, a vacancy of 10%, 7% for non-recoverable expenses, a $10 shortfall amount, and $7.25 7.25% capitalization rate for an income value of $5,615,763. In terms of the PST portion, that is the parking lot. So that is the adjacent tiered parking lot and the one underneath the medical clinic. We have a net of $545,415. There are no other parameters that are added to this. So you can see a $6.50 shortfall rate. That actually is not doing anything. It's not affecting the value of it. So we still get a $545,415 net operating income, to which we apply a 7% capitalization rate, giving us an income value of $7,791,643 for a total of $37,354,864, or $37,355,000. Now, in terms of the capitalization rate for the OFM portion, I believe I don't think that's really much of a concern. I think we're just a little bit below the assessor. In terms of the PST capitalization rate, we've used a 7% capitalization rate, which I think is consistent with the assessors as well. In terms of the retail cap rate, I believe the assessor has used a 7.55 capitalization rate, where we've used a 7.25% capitalization rate. So in terms of capitalization rate, I think we're either even or we're slightly under the assessor. The noticeable differences are obviously being caused by the rent on the retail portion and the net operating income on the parking structure. Now, in terms of non-recovered expenses, again, we continue to apply 7% effective market, a 7% non-recoverable expense allowance to the structures. That's nothing that we've continued with this, and we will continue using it. We will note, though, that as every property that we have conduct of includes this calculation, if that is actually removed, then the rest of the calculation actually needs to be adjusted. So what we often recommend is that if you're going to remove that, you add a little bit to the capitalization rate, and we recommend about 25 points. I believe that is the points that I needed to make, so I am open for questions.
Thank you, Marcelo. Svetlana, any questions on the evidence presented by the applicant?
Yes. Please open page 12 and 13 of agent evidence. On page, everyone there?
Yes.
First, I don't know numbers, streets, so I cannot verify your comparables, correct?
Correct. Did you? I don't think you asked me though.
I don't have time to request. It should be here. If you look on comparables number 3 and 4, it's Stellar Avenue, building built in 2011, and comparable $17.50, $13. And if you look on comparables, page 13, comparables number 2 and 3, same Taylor Avenue, 2011, rent $17.50, $13.50. So you use same comparable for office space and retail space, correct?
There may be some duplication. Yes.
Keep going. On page number 12, your comparables number 5 and 6, Sterling, Lion Parkway, built in 2017, rent $34 and $28 per square foot. Let's look on page 13, comparables number 4 and 5, Sterling, Lions Parkway, building built 2017, rent $34, $28 per square foot. You use same comparable for medical office and retail space, correct?
There may be some duplication, yes.
Keep going. Comparable number 7 and 8, Northtown Road, building built in 2017, rent $26 and $36 on page number 12 for medical space. And also we look on page number 13, comparable number 6 and 7, Northtown Road, built in 2017, rent $26 and $36 per square foot. It's same issue here. You use same comparables for medical and retail.
I will say that these are medical buildings that have leases inside them, though.
And you use same leases for retail and for medical space?
Correct.
So according to this free set of comparables, you going retail for $26 and medical at $14.25. How you can explain your study, your support evidence?
Yes. So there are medical leases there on page 12, and we have an average of $16. What I will note about those spaces, though, is that they are considerably smaller than the subject. So we are talking about, again, a considerable difference in size. Our total medical office area is 141,890 square foot. So in terms of the adjustment that we've made on the rent, we have no, we're not concerned with that. We believe that that is a fair rent in terms of the application and the adjustment based on the overall size of the property. None of the spaces there are as large. In fact, none of the spaces that you've used in your own comparisons are that large. So there would need to be a downward adjustment.
Open page 16 about, we will look on parking structure. We already saw that they reported parking revenue around around 914,000, and you use only revenue of, not revenue, not operating, yeah, revenue. 545,000. Do you have any support evidence?
Yes. So I believe I actually went over that in my presentation. So the gross figure that you see there that you just quoted is a gross amount. So that has to be netted out. That is why we applied the 45% expense ratio to it, bringing it down to 545,415. That's the explanation.
Okay, thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Diane, do you have any questions of the applicant?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you. Carrie, any questions?
Just one. Mr. Navarro, I just wanted you to clarify on the parking expense. You've given an estimation between 45 and 50%. Is that something that you use all the time in regards to parking structures? And what constitutes that high an expense?
45% is typically what we use. 45% is actually the modeled amount that the city of Winnipeg actually uses too. What constitutes it? Generally, the largest factor in the expense ratio are the property taxes, which are usually over 20%. And then come management and those other expenses, repair and maintenance, you can call it non-routine maintenance. It is routine for a parking structure, but there are additional expenses that are typical of parkades that other types of buildings never really see. And then there are added to that sometimes wages and hydro. Those are typical expenses. So in general, 45% is what we use for parking structures in the downtown. It's fairly consistent in terms of the way that they perform. So what I would say is that in terms of the expense ratio, because we know that the incomes actually fell during 2020, we are being rather conservative because many of our parking structures were well over 50% this cycle. And that is because they typically had a larger fall in revenues. So as your revenues fall and your expenses stay constant, what ends up happening to the expense ratio is that it increases. In this case, we simply applied a 45% expense ratio, which has been the typical expense ratio that we've always applied on parkades or any type of parking in general.
Okay, I thank you.
Anything else, Carrie?
No, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Okay. Marcelo, could we go to page 6, please? That aerial photo of the subject property.
Yeah, just give me a second while I turn there.
Yeah, I got to get there too.
Yeah, I'm there now. Okay.
I'm not. Okay. Page 6, right? The aerial view.
Yeah.
So the subject property is the clinic itself, parking to the left or the west side, I guess. And then there's a vacant lot there. Is this an older picture, I guess? Would that be fair?
No, I believe these aerial photos were, I think, the last round of photos that were taken were in either late 2021 or 2022. So they're actually quite current.
Okay, so when you're I'm wondering where correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say you're heading north on Sherbrooke Street, you're turning left to go to the front of the clinic.
Yeah.
It's kind of a back lane or part of the parking, an entranceway, and then there's the parkade further to the left. Where does the property line end?
So if you can see the top picture, because there's two, right? There's the bird's eye view, and then there is the aerial.
Okay, I've got it. Okay,
Yeah.
So they do own that access lane, I'll call it, or for the the clinic and that.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Correct.
My next question is, or my last question, page 15, the parkade calculation.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be able to calculate what rate you're using per stall on that gross income?
Yeah, if you just give me a minute, I can actually calculate it out for you. Do you want it on the gross or on the net?
On both, please.
Okay. Okay, so we have a gross of $129.32 per stall per month.
Okay.
Okay, 545, 415 divided by 639. Is $71.13 net.
Okay. Or I guess 55% of the gross, right? That would equal that. Okay. All right. Okay. That's my only questions. Thank you very much. Svetlana, would you have any requirement for a summary at all?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Marcelo?
Nope, I do not.
Thank you. Thank you both. That concludes 790 Sherbrooke Street. Next item on the docket is number 2. Item number 2, file number 22-856. The address is 693 McPhillips Street, pardon me. We're dealing with a 2023 realty assessment, and I do not document any preliminary issues. Is that accurate from both parties?
Correct.
That's correct.
Thank you. Okay, Svetlana, when you are ready, 693 McPhillips Street.
File number 22856. Roll number 14100128740. Address is 693 McPhillips Street. Its owner is Mittal and Sons Limited. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only, based on the evidence in this report. In this assessor opinion, that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021, $1,017,000. In that, the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property medical clinic located on land area of 12,483 square feet, gross floor area 6,989 square feet, same leasable area. On page number 2, here photo of subject property. It's located northwest of the city. On page number 3, it's facing McPhillips Street. We can see a street view on page number 3. It's dental clinic. On page number 4, more air photos with we can see building and parking behind building, and on right side when you're looking from the trees, it's a regular shape of land. On page number 5, it's a medical rent comparables. I present 20 comparables. If you can see media of my comparables, $21.73 mean and media $22. Let's look on my comparables first. Before summary, we open page 13. Everyone here?
Yes.
My first comparable, 1439 Henderson Highway. I presented 2 comparables with leasable area to around 2,000 and Morals 4,000 square feet. You can see the rent for $28 and $24 per square foot. My comparables of number 14, 925 Headmaster Row, several comparables. A lease around 1,500 to 3,000 and rent from $25 to $22 per square foot. On page number 15, another medical office on 3352 Roblin Boulevard. We have several from 600 square feet to 8,000 square feet. A rent between $25, $26 to $17, $16 per square foot. $16 per square foot, area over 8,000 square feet. On page number 15, 395 Stafford Street. It's 2-floor building, 2 leases by $25. On page 17, 756 Pembina Highway, 2 leases. It's 1-floor building from $18 per square foot. Another comparable on page 18, 871 Ellis Avenue, 1-floor building, lease $19.20. And my last set comparables on page 19, 1295 Layla Avenue. It has 2 buildings and another building, 1305 Layla Avenue, same property, row number, at least $22.50 and another $12.66. So we go back to my summary on page number 5. So I use 1439 Henderson Highway, 925 Headmaster Road, several leases, 3352 Roblin, 395 Stafford, 756 Pembina, 871 Ellis Avenue, and 1295 Layla Avenue. We can see it's different type of leases from 600 square feet to 8,000 square feet. And its media mean $21.73, in media $22 per square foot. Let's open page number 6, our subject property market income. We did use 6,989 square feet, and we apply overall $12.70 only. We did apply vacancy loss 5.5%, expenses 3%, shortfall $8 per square foot, and our capitalization rate 7.7%. How we came across our estimate value of $1,017,000. It's a market value of subject property of April 1st, 2021. In that, the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Marcelo, any questions of the assessor's evidence presented?
I do have some questions. I assume that this is the model parameters again?
Correct.
Okay. So your leases, your comparable leases, let's go to the first one on page 13. And this is a retail mall. Would you not agree?
Correct.
Okay.
Our comparables, it's small medical office owner occupied, and usually a medical office small and owner occupied. So we look for leases what provided to us, retail space.
Right. It's similar to what we do. Now, the point here is that if you look at many of your leases here, for example, even Headmaster, again, we have a mall here. I forget what you call these, just community malls. Would you not agree that, there is some, I guess, advantage to being in this type of location?
And that's why they lease for $28, for $25, and we apply half 50% less, around $13 per square foot. We took this in consideration.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, with the Charleswood Medical Clinic on page, I believe, 15. Now you also have some retail in there, I assume, right? The pharmacy is retail.
Correct. If you're looking on page number 15, it's my own Roblin Boulevard, 2-floor buildings.
Yeah,
yes,
I know the
and
building.
You can see it is $25, $26. It's more retail. Usually retail more expensive.
Okay. And the percentage discount that the model is applying, because obviously it's not really taking these leases into account, or it is, and it's applying the heavy discount.
All leases reported to us, analyzed by the system.
Okay. And you're aware of the area of the subject, correct?
Yes, it's McPhillips Street.
Okay. And you're familiar with this area?
Yes.
Okay. Those are my questions.
That's why we apply a capitalization rate 7.7% as well on top.
Thank you, Marcelo. Carrie, any questions of the assessor?
Just one question. Ms. Shable, did you have a chance to inspect this property?
No, I didn't inspect this property, but I am able to completely accurate describe it based on the data we have on file.
Okay. Do you have anything in your notes as to when it was last inspected?
I will check right away. It was in 2019 because we see a permit for some demolition of attached garage.
Okay, so somebody inspected it then in 2019.
Correct, yes. If you have some permission, additional structure, demolish, something structure change, we usually going for inspection before close permit.
All right.
And update our records, how we tracking through PPND permits provided to us.
Okay, and I thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Carrie. Diane, any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I have no questions either. Marcelo, please bear with us 1 second while we pull up your brief. Okay.
I'm wondering we can have 5 minutes break.
Can we allow the the applicant to present, and we'll have a break at the end of this particular property?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem. Marcelo, when you're ready, please. 693 McPhillips.
693
Oh,
McPhillips.
sorry, I thought we finished. Sorry.
If you turn to page 6 of 18, you can see an overhead picture of this property and its general location. It is in the heart of the north end. Not a bad thing, but we expect rents to be lower in this area. So many of the medical rents or medical office rents that we look at are, these are some of the similar ones, but they're not coming from, they're coming from better areas. That would include Taché, Northtown, Sterling Line, Taylor, Northtown. These are all better locations. So really it's a matter of making some type of adjustment to the rent. So we have 3 general areas here, and we've adjusted them accordingly. So the largest section we've valued at $12.50 per square foot. The next area we've valued at $14.50 per square foot. And the next area is valued at $5 per square foot. The portion that's valued at $5 per square foot, I believe, is just a storage area. So this is a blended rent based on these 3 rents that we've applied in general. That gives us an average of $10.98 per square foot. And that is applied to the 6,989 square feet. It gives us potential of 76,707. We've applied a vacancy of 5.5% and $8 per square foot in terms of the shortfall rate. Non-recovered expenses, again, we haven't deviated from the 7%. And in terms of the evaluation itself, you can see it on page 14. So we've applied a $7.50 capitalization rate to this. We have a net operating income of $64,338. If you'd like, I can just take you quickly. Again, the potential was $76,707, applied a vacancy of 5.5%. Giving us a net effective of $72,488. Non-recoverables of 7%, $8 shortfall, giving us a net operating income of $64,388 and an income value of $857,845. And that is my valuation. I'm open for questions.
Thank you to the applicant. Svetlana, any questions of the applicant?
Thank you. Page 12 of your brief.
Mm-hmm.
You use same set of comparable from North Town Road, Taylor, Sterling Parkway, correct?
Correct. There are some retail leases in here and medical leases mixed.
And how you came across $10.98 per square foot? What is your thoughts?
My thought is that it's not the best location. So in general, I would apply a rent that's lower in this area than I would in other parts of the city. Again, compared to Northtown, Taylor, Sterling Line, even Taché, this market area would typically receive a much, much lower rent. However, if you also see that is a blended rent. I hope you understand that. So we have three portions here to this building. And we've mixed the rents from $12.50 up to $14.50, and then a $5 per square foot rent for the smallest portion, which is a storage area. So I think we're being fair. I believe the low rent on this location is based mainly on the location itself. So.
And your capitalization rate on page number 14, 75% account for location as well?
Well, location and also parts of this building are substantially older than other portions. So we have renovations that have been done. However, we are still dealing with a portion that is from the 1920s, I believe, and a portion that is more recent. So that would account for some of it as well.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Diane, any questions?
I do not.
Thank you. Carrie?
Yes, just a couple. Mr. Navarro, did you have a chance to inspect this property?
Just from the exterior, that was really recently. So I don't know what to say. I've driven past this property 1,000 times, if not more. So I know the area quite well. So.
But you can't speak to the finishes inside?
I can't speak to the finishes inside, no.
Okay. Or the usage of the mezzanine, because you've given it $5 per square foot.
Yeah. Which I believe again is being used as storage areas. So that is why it's receiving such a low rate.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That is all my questions.
Thank you, Carrie. Mr. Navarro, regarding the age of the building, I guess I'm looking at the front of the building, I'm sorry, on page 7.
Yeah.
What year is this building considered? Actually, I think the average year, according to the assessor, was about 2009, if I'm correct. Would that be?
It's got two periods of construction. So 1929 and 2009. So I would look at it as being two separate structures because, I mean, I don't know how you consolidate those two figures. I mean, if you blend them in together, you're probably going to end up somewhere in the 1960s. However, if you treat them separately, you have a 1929 portion with some updates, as I understand, in speaking with the owner. And then there is the 2009 portion, which is much, much newer, obviously.
In your workup, you detail 3 different leasing rates. Is it one big office, or are there a couple of separate tenants in there that?
No, it's one area.
One area, okay.
Yeah.
One dental office?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's my only questions. Any requirement for summary, Svetlana?
No, thank you.
Okay. Marcelo?
None for me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to recess for, how about 8 minutes? Is that good enough? Okay. And we will be back. Thank you, Belen. I will now call the hearing back to order. Next property in the docket is item number 3, file number 22-1350. Address is 2110 Main Street, and we're dealing with a 2023 realty appeal. I note 3 points to deal with on this property, Mr. Navarro. Probably, would you mind looking at your brief and we could discuss that preliminary issue, please?
Can you give me the address again?
It's 2110 Main Street, item number 3.
Okay. I'm just opening it right now.
Okay.
Nope, there are no points. If classification was applied for, then we can confirm that.
Okay. Ellen, do you see any other points to be dealt with? I had 3 on the initial doc.
Yes, so this was value, classification, and liability.
So we have liability also, Marcelo.
We can confirm liability as well.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Bellen. Okay, Ms. Shabo, when you are ready, please. 2110 Main Street.
I have preliminary issue with file number 221-1350. The assessor requests that the burden approved be placed on applicant for not cooperation, section 53(3)(b) of the Municipal Mass Act. And if a reduction in assessment is ordered, that it follows section 54(3)(2) of Municipal Assessment Act.
Okay, so we have a request for non-cooperation from the assessor. Would you like to detail your proof of that, please, Ms. Shabo?
Yes, please open page 11 of my brief. We sent notes on June 3rd, 2022, but we expected 2021 full years of information. If you put look on page number 12, it should be received us by May 5th, 2022, before we sent 2023 property assessment notice. We didn't receive on time. On page number 13, we received on June 30th, 2021, but we already sent our notice for 2023. So, and all information I use for my brief of lease, existing lease. You can see on page 16 and 17, it's for 2020 years, so prior. But we didn't receive our 2021 income expenses on time to produce our assessment note. That's why we have penalty warranted by Municipal Assessment Act. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, thank you. Just to Marcelo, before I have you comment, I'm just going to ask for clarification from the assessor. So the income and expense statement was due on what, can you confirm those dates for
May 5th, 2022 for full 2021 assessment years. On page number 12, what did we send? Because it's our reference date 2021, In June 3rd, 2022, we have from May to June look into this income expense mailer and made some adjustment if needed. So we sent already notice of assessment. We received income expense mailer on page 13, but already ended June 30th, 2022. We will still analyze, but it was too late. Our assessment notice already went out.
Okay, thank you. Marcelo, any questions of the assessor's request for non-compliance?
Well, I think the first one and the most important one is that typically we would see mailers. So these are the evidence that the assessor has produces to corroborate their evidence. Generally, we see the stamp for the registered mail envelope that is sent out. That is missing from here. So I cannot support this because, again, the assessor has not provided this information.
But if you look on page number 13, we received mailer from owner, but on June 30th, 2022. We already sent notice of assessment. We received, but it's late. That's why we ask for this penalty.
Okay, but as a point, the assessor always sends this notice out. So you may have sent the initial notice and they may have responded to that one. But did you send out the second notice?
I don't have information that.
Okay. Then again, I don't know how you can support that.
Usually when owner cannot do on time, he asks for extension. I didn't find any letter of extension approved by us.
Well, you have no letters to begin with. So you have, first of all, you don't have even the mailer that you would have sent on the second notice, which is the registered mail stub that we usually see when you request these penalties. That is missing. The second point that I'll make is that this is for the 2021 mailer.
Correct.
So are we not using the 20? No, we are using the 2020, are we not?
To inspect to verify market, but for subject property, we need original 2021. So we still have 1 month to look into before we send property assessment notice. Okay, what we usually doing, it was not available to us.
What I would say here is that evidence that you typically provide, which tells us whether the client was actually contacted, is not here. So I don't know whether they were contacted.
On page number 13, we see owner contacted. He sent income expense mailer June 9, 2022, when he received our property assessment notice already.
Okay.
We sent on June 3rd. It's too late for us, but we still thankful for receiving this information. We will be used for future.
So what you're saying is that June 3rd is the deadline.
Correct.
Okay.
May 5th, 2022, it's a deadline.
Okay.
If you look on page number 12.
But typically you would send out a notice, would you not?
We didn't send because we received late, but we still received. Why we should send second note, but we didn't have on time that penalty warrant.
The second notice is sent out because this information is late. So if you did not send that out, then how was the client to respond?
We can see that our notice of assessment was sent on June 9, and owner respond on June 3, owner respond of June 9. So he received our notice as assessment and provide income expense mailer, but it's past due day.
I mean, I really don't think it is, Ms. Scheibel. I don't think something provided in, as you said, June 9th.
Yeah, if you look on page number 13, on bottom, it was a sign of June 9, 2022. And usually 3 days to receive this our notice, business day. And we send notice on June 3rd, 2022.
Messed up here.
If you look on page number 12, deadline for information May 5th on bottom, due date May 5th, 2022. So we still have 1 month to analyze income expense mail provided to us, and before we send notice, we have window 1 month to make correction if needed.
I don't think that's correct, Michelle. I'm sorry, but
I'm working in this department. I do
Well,
analyze income expense mailer before we send notice of assessment.
with every request that we have for penalty, that information is actually in there. So that's missing at this point.
Okay. Marcella, how would you like to summarize? I'll give you a minute to put your thoughts together, your disagreement with this request.
Well, first of all, the disagreement is that the mailers actually go out in May, to which the clients have time to respond. I believe Michelle said the mailers are due June 3rd. These can be missed, which is why typically the city of Winnipeg sends out a second request by registered mail to prove as proof. And this is usually what is attached to these requests. And that is missing from this information. The second point that I'd like to make is that I do not believe that June 3rd is the drop dead line. I believe it goes beyond that, hence the reason why the city of Winnipeg sends out that second mailer. I believe the actual deadline is sometime in early July or late June. So I don't think that there's been any issue here. What I will say is that, again, part of the information that typically goes with this type of response or this type of request is missing. So I would ask the board to not grant this penalty.
Okay, thank you.
May I bring attention to page 11?
Michelle, your response to that, please.
Page 11, 2023 property assessment notes. On top, we can see that we sent this mailer beginning June 2021. And if you look on bottom of same page, we can see that final date of appeal application June 28, 2022. It's very important paper. So owner, if he not satisfied with our assessment, he can appeal to same Board of Revision, June 28. And we request information by May 5th, by beginning May, to make any adjustment before we send property assessment notice out. Thank you. We missed this opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Bella, and I'm going to ask you to, I'm sorry. Carrie, any questions from either party?
No questions, thank you.
Thank you. Diane?
I do have a question. So on the first mailer on page 12, it says due date May 5th, 2022, but doesn't have a 12-month ending request in there, correct?
It's in a second column, 12 months period. It's for 2021.
Where does it ask that? Because normally that date would be filled in there.
I missed this first letter, a copy of same letter for previous years on page number 15.
Okay.
Usually
so now if I go
them
to page 13,
Mm-hmm.
this one was due June 30th for year ending 12/31/21, and they sent it in on June 9th. So how is this late?
Because we already sent our income expense already notice of notice property assessment notice in June 3, and they have 21-day period to appeal.
But this said the due date was June 30th at the top right-hand corner on page 13, and they sent it in on June 9th. Not June 3rd, June 30th, it says the due date on this mailer.
Because our paperwork, what we send usually on page 14, it's look a little bit similar, but different same time. Okay, no answer, I don't know.
Okay, thank you.
I will verify.
Thank you, Diane. And I have no questions at this time. Belen, could we please put the both parties in the waiting room, and we're going to recess to consider the evidence presented by both parties. I will now call the hearing back to order. Excuse me. The panel has considered the assessor's request for application of non-cooperation under section 53-3. And it is our opinion that the request be denied based on the evidence presented by both parties. So, Shable, you will go first. 2110 Main Street, please.
Be with me.
Svetlana, when you're ready, please.
Yes, I'm going in. Okay. Page number 1. File number 22-1350, roll number 11031325000. Address is 2110 Main Street. Owner La Properties, 2010 Main Street, BT Limited. Bear Volume property as stand of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition as April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, in this assessor opinion, that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is 3,611,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property is medical office cleaning, located on land area 69,501 square feet. Leasable area of subject property 19,907 with gross floor area over 27,000 square feet. On page number 2, subject property leases. We can see a property occupied by Rexall Drugstore, lease $12.50, units 2-5, X-ray, $17 per square foot. We have doctors for on units 207, 107, $27.60. Another physio on 108 units, $12. Health service, $13. So total occupied area 20,951 square feet. So rent per square foot average $13.87. On page number 3 and 4, more of air photos. The subject property located northwest of the city. It's 2-floor building on page number 3, street view. It's located facing Main Street, not far from Chief Penguin Street. It's a regular shape of lot. And more air photo on page number 5. On my page number 6, I presented 17 rent comparables. We can see mean $20, 90 cents, and media $21 per square foot. Let's look on my comparables. We're going to page 20. On page 20, we have medical, dental office rental comparables. On first medical office on 3360 Roblin, it's two floors building. It's rent between $17 to $26. On page number 21, a two-floor building like subject property as well. 395 Stafford Street, rent for $25. On page number 22, one-floor building on 871 Ellis Avenue, rent for $19.20. On page 23, we have medical units on 2077 Pembina Highway, rent from $20 to $25 per square foot. On page 24, Layla Avenue, 1295 and 1305, two building on same roll number, rent for $22, $20. On page 25, 7050 Main Street, we have rent for $13. If you're going back to my summary page, on page 6, so we have Roblin, Stafford, Ellis, Pembina, Layla, and Main Street. In our mean, $20.90. In our media, $21 per square foot. So our assessment income, market income on page number 7, we apply leasable area 19,907 square feet at $14.30. We apply vacancy loss 5.5% for typical medical offices, expenses 3%, shortfall $8 per square foot. Our capitalization rate 6.9%. So our estimate market value of subject property as it stands as April 1st, 2021, $3,611,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Navarro, any questions of the assessor?
Yes. Again, with these comparables, you are taking from areas where there is, for example, retail and retail influence. For example, 2077 Pembina Highway. Would you agree that that has some retail influence?
Correct. They rent for $25 per square foot. In me apply just over 14.
Okay. Okay. So I'll ask you to turn to your very last comparable, which is 1750 Main Street, which is not that far from this location. I believe this location is on Perth and Main Street. And our location is just across from, I believe, Kildonan Park Golf Course. So this one is at $13 per square foot. Again, we're talking about much smaller areas here, but your rent is at, I believe, 14. I'm just turning to your workup. $14.13. Wouldn't that be an indication, a better indication of the value, or at least the rent for space in this area, seeing that this location is relatively close to the subject?
That's why that we can see that Roblin, Stafford, Pembina, Layla over $20 per square foot, and Main Street $13. So our $14 selected by model inside is size and closer to Main Street, my last comparables. So it's inside this range, it's fair.
It's fair, okay. So if you had a look at the property itself and you've looked at the income and expenses, you noted that this property has had some vacancy issues over the past few years. Now, did you adjust? Obviously, you did not adjust, but did you look at the vacancy?
If you open page number 2, they reported 2,650 square feet of vacant space. It will be, 1 second, I will say in percentage wise, 26, 15 divide 29, 51. Why it's not working for me? 1 second. 26, 15 divide by 29, 51. 1 second. Be with me.
Yeah.
It will be 12%. And you can see they reported 20,951. If we use T square footage and apply on my income income estimation, if we divide 21,351 square 5, 1 second, my income 281, 355 divided by area reported to us. We did apply $13.43. It's very close to my last comparable $13. So our assessment is fair. Our rent applied for this property is fair and supported by my evidence.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you again, did you go through the roll?
If you open page number 2, I posted all leases in building current.
Okay. I'm just going to turn to your page 2.
And they showed us $13.87 per square foot. If I apply reported leasable area, we apply only $13.43 per square foot,
Okay.
very close to reported.
So I'll ask you to calculate these areas out then. You can see on your own presentation on page 2 that unit 103 is vacant, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that is 440 square feet. Now, the next unit that is vacant is unit 111. That is 1,050 square feet, correct?
Correct.
Now, the next unit that's vacant is unit 202, and that is 800 square feet, correct?
Correct.
And the next unit after that that's vacant is unit 208, and that is 1,125 square feet, correct?
Yeah, you're right. I did mistake. Please cross 2,650 square feet and put 3,415.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, it's my mistake.
Okay. Now, did you look at previous years as well?
I just look current, like it's stand of January 1st, 2023.
Okay.
But it's 2021 assess reference day. And
Okay.
we constantly apply 5.5% for future any vacancy.
Okay.
It could be full occupied, but we will still apply 5.5% vacancy to be fair and equal.
Okay. And in terms of your capitalization rate, obviously that's based on the model, correct?
Correct, 6.9%. If you open page number 9, our capitalization rate summary, we have range between 5.6 to 6.9. It's between 20th and 80th percentile. Only 60 60% of property between 5.6 and 6.9. And you can
Okay.
see Collier showed us 6 to 6.75. CBRE showed 7 to 7.5. And Cushman and Beckfeld, we showed 6.75 and 7.75. And we apply 6.9, it's inside this range.
Okay.
It's fair.
Thank you for that information. Those are my questions.
Thank you, Marcelo. Carrie, any questions of the assessor?
Yeah, I'm just. Sorry, I'm just looking for.
Take your time.
So everything on your brief was model driven? Svetlana?
Correct.
Okay. That's all my questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Diane, any questions, the assessor?
Yeah, just to the comparison that the applicant brought up, that one at Hartford in Maine. So what is it? 15, I can't remember the address, but the one at Hartford in Maine, that they're both retail and doctor's offices, but the difference is there's no parking at Hartford, correct?
Well, let's check my photo, last
That's
photo.
your last comparison there.
Yeah. They have parking behind building. If you open page 25 of my brief, air photos, they have parking rear, and you can park in on residential area as well. You can see
But no parking lot for all the clients from all that place, right? Correct?
No, it's very small space,
Okay.
2-floor building.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if there was another parking lot there for that one somewhere. Okay, thank you.
Because it's no restriction on the street and residential area and rear area parking.
There
One
actually is a
row.
restriction on that street, but that's okay.
But we have still how many parking lot? We can see one car park there, so it's around 10. I don't know.
Yeah.
8 parking, 8 people,
Thank you.
Thank you.
and it's a good bus route too.
Thank you.
Ms. Shable, could you look on page 2, please? The subject property leases. I note that they're detailing 20,951 square feet of leasable area. I believe in your workup, you're only using 19,907.
Correct. It's our records. Yes.
Yeah.
Usually, what happen if tenants want bigger space, they usually move a wall inside. How its space fluctuate, made bigger square footage or smaller square footage space.
Okay.
And if I apply or our potential income reported to us, my lease will be less as $14 per square foot, close to 13, like my last comparable on Maine.
Sorry, you're saying if you use declared leasable income?
If I use my income,
Yes.
and divide the reported area to us.
Okay, I see. Okay.
So it will be very close what they reported and what my comparable on 7050 Main Street. It's
Okay.
fair and very close.
Thank you. That was my only question. Mr. Navarro, bear with us 1 second while we pull up your brief, please. For 2110 Main Street. I have to open this. Okay. When you're ready, please.
Okay, this is 2110 Main Street. Again, this property is across from the Kildonan Park Golf Course. And it is, we have, I believe, in the workup, I'm just turning to it, yes, 20,951 square feet of leasable area that we've considered in our valuation. So if you turn to page 6 of the report, you can see the overhead picture. And again, that details the location, the general location, and then the overhead. So we've looked at the leases of the property and feel that those leases actually represent market of this property. So we have made some adjustments where there are some vacancies, and we did adjust a unit 100 as well, increase the rent on that one. So based on our review of the leases, we've applied a rent of $12.87 over the 20,951 square feet. In terms of vacancy, we went back a few years. So we looked at 2020, 2019, and 2018. In 2020, the vacancy was at 16.30, 2019, 20.46, and 2018, it was at 20.38. This is the reason that we've adjusted the rent or the vacancy upward to 10% from the modeled vacancy rate of 5.5%. We think that this trend is showing that this property has had some vacancy issues. And going forward, I can't speak about that, so I'll just leave it there. But it's not systemic vacancy, so it's not anywhere near 15% or 25% vacancy. It is 10%, and it is acknowledging that there has been some vacancy issues over the past few years. In terms of the shortfall rate, we've applied a shortfall rate of $9 per square foot, and that is also an adjustment from the market parameters of the city's model. And again, that is also to account for greater cost in that vacant space. In terms of non-recovered expenses, 5%, 7% in total for non-recoverable expenses. And in terms of the capitalization rate, we've applied a capitalization rate of 7%. So you can see our summary of the valuation on page 16. And again, we have an income of $269,719, to which we applied 10% vacancy, 7% management, 9% for a shortfall. There is $600 of other income that we've added there, which was also, I believe, I'm not sure if that was noted in the assessors as well. We've added $600 in additional income, and a capitalization rate of $7 or 7%, giving us an income value of $2,964,271. That is $2,964,000 rounded. The remainder of the report is the income and expense information that we've reviewed, and that is supporting our valuation. And again, the biggest issue here, I believe, is the difference in terms of the vacancy that we've applied versus the assessor. And we've also gone with the actual leases versus the market comparisons. And again, the reason for that is that we believe that these rents actually represent market. You'll note the highlighted lease on page 12 of 41. That is highlighted in blue. That is Blue Thunderbird Family Care, Inc. So our initial thought when we had appealed this property is that location was possibly eligible for a school tax exemption. In the end, we did some research and we found out that it wasn't. And that is why we asked you to confirm the classification of liability. This was not a registered charity or a nonprofit, so we were able to, I guess, eliminate that, and we didn't need to appeal classification liability. So again, I think I've summarized the value already, so I am open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Ms. Shavel, any questions of the applicant?
You're on mute. Thank you.
Can you hear me? Thank you.
Yes.
Please open page 12 of agent brief. Agent states that you use current leases for your assessment, correct?
Correct.
Estimation. Let's look on leases. First lease was signed in 2012, but we can see lease next third lease signed in 2020, July 1st, $17. We can look for 2020 lease, to example, lease number 109 for $13. Another lease signed in 2020, close to reference day, $15.75. Another lease signed on units to 17,020 for $13 per square foot. So it will be effect if you will use current leases signed in subject property, your estimation will be much higher, correct?
No. This is based on our review of those leases. That's why I laid it out the way it is laid out. Again, the only adjustments that I've made are to the ones that are vacant, and I made a slight adjustment on unit 100. That is it. So the net market rent is $269,719, 20,951 square feet, $12.87. That is based on the current leases.
Please stay on same page and open page 2 of my brief. We can see that units 107 lease for $27.60, not $14.45. And lease of 209 lease for $21.41, and you provide only $10.50. How you can explain it?
Lease number 107.
Correct. 107 and 209.
Okay. Yeah.
Owner report completely different. It would influence your decision for net market rent.
Well, no, we would have studied these rents to begin with. So what you're looking at is $27.60 is a gross lease. So it hasn't been netted. That is why it's so high. So that requires actually going into the individual leases in the income and expenses that are submitted. And we do that to make sure that each lease is net. If they are not net, then we net them out. Or we look at other leases in the building that are similar in size that we could use as a marked comparison. However, in this case, we have what is effectively a gross lease, not a net.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Shable. Diane, any questions of the applicant?
No, not at this time.
Thank you. Carrie, any questions?
I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro, I have the same question. I'm looking at page 2 of the assessor's brief where she submitted the rent roll, and I'm seeing discrepancies. For instance, unit number 200, Seven Oaks Dental Center. It's declared at $12 a square foot, but I guess in your workup, it's $8 a square foot. Would the explanation be again that that's a gross rent?
200, that is Seven Oaks Dental Center.
Yeah, we've got that difference in.
Yeah.
In the rent roll, I guess.
Yes, we've netted it out to $6.84. But that is actually the face rent. So you are looking at the rent that says August 12th to December 31st, 32. That is the term. And it is for $6.84. So we don't have what the assessor is actually saying.
You can open page 17 on my brief, the income expense mailer provided to us. It showed clear net rent.
What page?
17 of my brief, 207 Oak Dental Care. Lease started November 1st, 2020 and finish ended December 2032. It's clean net lease.
Okay, any comment, Mr. Navarro?
Yeah, just give me a second while I look at this.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, just to go over this one more time. So the monthly rent is $1,332, correct?
Correct.
So if you multiply that by 12, that gives you $15,984. And if you divide it by the area that's leased, which is 2,390 square feet, that gives you $6.68. So it's not $12.
$23.90. It's leasable area. 53.
You have to look at the terms of this lease. It is, effectively a 20-year lease.
Okay, they reported so small. Okay. Yes, you're right. $6.69 for
Okay.
the specific space.
Thank you. And I believe that was my only question. Ms. Sheba or Mr. Navarro, any requirement for summary on this property?
No, I don't have any.
Ms. Sheba?
Yes. Our job to analyze the market evidence and determine the best conclusion of market value. I believe that agent undervalued subject property because he used actual rent, but he avoid to adjust time adjustment for rent signed several years before reference day, April 1st, 2021. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro, any comment or requirement there?
Yes, I don't know if you caught the comment that I made. That is a 20-year lease. So it's a much stronger covenant. It is not comparable to something that's 5 years or even 10 years. It's double that term. So the rent is low because of that. However, everything has been looked at. We think that everything is at market. So, and where we thought it needed adjustment, we've made those adjustments. So I think we're okay here.
Okay,
Sorry, excuse me, can I just ask a question?
of course.
If the lease says 2020 to 2032, how is that a 20-year lease?
It's actually, let's see.
It says lease start date 11/1/2020, lease end date 12/31/2032.
I'm sorry. I have it starting at August 12th. August 1st, 2012.
This is what the company provided, and you
Yeah.
both have the same document in your presentations.
Yeah. No, then that is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Diane. Okay. That concludes 2110 Main Street. Next item on the docket is number 4, file number 222523. Address is 1155 Concordia Avenue. We're dealing with a 2023 realty appeal. And Ms. Shea will bear with us 1 second while we get to your brief, please.
I do same.
What number is it again? The file number?
We're dealing with file number 22-2523,
Okay, thank you.
1155 Concordia Avenue. And Ms. Sheba, when you're ready, please.
File number 22-2523. Roll number 040070946000. Location is 1155 Concordia Avenue. Owner is Concordia Willingness Property Project Inc. We are valuing the property as a stand of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, in this assessor opinion, that the market value of the subject property as of April 1st, 2021, $15,646,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property is medical office located on land area of 165,955 square feet, gross floor area 63,710 square feet, and leasable area of 56,893 square feet. Page number 2, this presented subject property leases. Subject property has leases on main floor, 101, 102, on second floor, 200, on third floor, 300. Leases $25, $21, so total average $21.60. The subject property located of subject property picture at bottom on northeast side of the city. We can have see more photo on page number 3 and 4. Slightly irregular shape along the curve. It has parking space, free floor building, street photo on page number 4. I have presented two set comparable for medical office and rental, retail on main floor. Let's look first on my comparables. We're going on page 15. Medical offices located and 2077 Pembina Highway, the rent between $20 and $25 per square foot. Medical offices on page 16 on 1439 Henderson Highway, rent for $28 or $24 per square foot for bigger square footage. On page 17, 925 Headmaster Row, rent between around $22 and $25 per square foot. A two-floor building on 395 Stafford Street, rent for $25 on page 18. And we will look on my retail comparables, few of them on 777 Sherbrooke Street, rent for $25, Shop and Drug Mart. And on page 20 of 1155 Concordia Avenue, shop, rent for $25 retail space. And my last comparable on page number 21, 2160 McGillivray Boulevard, a rent of retail space for $29. Let's go back to my summary list on page number 5. So my medical office rent comparables, 2075 Pembina, 1439 Henderson, 925 Headmaster Road, and 395 Stafford showed that market evidence showed that mean $22.81 in media $22 per square foot. For retail space, free comparable between $25 to $29 per square foot. Let's look on my income expenses, market income on page number 6. We apply office medical space 3,100 square feet at $24.50. We did apply 5.5% vacancy, similar to previous properties, 3% expenses, shortfall $8 per square foot. In capitalization rate 6.6%. As market and scope of medical space 1,034,000. On page number 7, we estimate retail space of 20,063 square feet. We apply retail space $19.90. For retail space vacancy already 6%, 3% expenses, and shortfall $7 per square foot. In capitalization rate for retail space 7.4%. So for retail space income estimated value $4,635,000. We have another medical space of 33,710 square feet. We apply $21.79. Same 5.5% vacancy loss, 3% expenses, shortfall $8 per square foot, and capitalization rate 6.6. Estimate value of this medical space, 9,977,000. Summary of my estimation on page number 9. So how we have 3 different 2 medical space, 1 retail space. It's give estimate market value of subject property of April 1st, 2021, 15,646,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Navarro, before we question, I'm just gonna finish up my notes here on the split between the class codes and that kind of thing. If you can just wait for us for a second, please.
Yeah.
Diane, Carrie, are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Navarro, any questions of the assessor's evidence presented?
Like the other ones, everything is model driven here, and you've made no adjustments to that model.
Correct.
Okay, those are my only questions.
Thank you. Carrie, any questions of the assessor?
No questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. Diane?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you. My only question is, Ms. Shable, for the class code 40, those are the two government health service and hospital related square footages?
Correct. If you open page number 9, we have stream 1, 2, and 3, stream 3, class liability 40S.
Right.
It's our exemption.
But that is related to 2 floors of,
It's my income stream number 3. It's
number
our
3. Okay. Yeah.
on page number 8.
8. Okay, perfect. There we are. 2 floors, 16,855 square feet, totaling 33,710 at 2179 a square foot. Okay, and that comes to that class code 40S, right?
Yes, exemption, correct. On top of page number 8,
Perfect.
we have same
Okay,
numerical.
thank you for the explanation. Thank you. Mr. Navarro, we will be in your brief right away. When you are ready, Mr. Navarro.
We ask the board to confirm the 2023 assessment.
Okay, just to confirm, you're asking the board confirm 9,997,000 class code 40S and 5,669,000 class code 60T. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Shable, any comments?
No,
Thank you.
thank you.
Diane?
No, none, thanks.
Thank you. And Carrie?
None, thank you.
Thank you. That concludes 1155 Concordia Avenue. And I think we're going to take a 7 or 8 minute break, please. Recess. Thank you, Bellin. I will now call the hearing back to order. Next property on the docket is item number 5, file number 22-3002. Address is 396 Taché Avenue. And we're dealing with a 2023 realty assessment. And Mr. Navarro, I do document 3 points. I guess one is value. The other 2 are classification and liability, I believe. Any comments?
Mr. Navarro, you are muted.
I'm sorry. So I don't believe there are any issues of classification liability on this property, as there is a 3-way classification split on this one. So we will just ask the board to confirm the classification and liability.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Was that you, Bellin?
No, that's not here.
Okay. Okay, so we are dealing with 396 Taché Avenue. Ms. Shable, when you're ready, please.
File number 22-3002, roll number 0607045810, and owner 3325806 Manitoba Limited. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition as April 1st, 2021. This appeal is with respect of the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, in this assessor opinion, that the market value of the subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is 11,424,000, and that the 2021 pre-assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property is a medical office located on land area of 14,033 square feet. We have gross floor area of 66,784 square feet and leasable area 56,781 square feet. On page number 2, subject property leases. If you look rent, amount per area $15.80 per square foot, and on bottom total summary 56 total area of 56,983 square feet. What we assess and what reported very close. On page number 3, subject property air photos. A subject property located in the middle of downtown, middle. It will be okay. Red dot, or it's on map of the city. It's very close to the middle. We have rectangle. I can hear voice behind. Can I proceed or we need, I wait?
Ellen, do you know where that's coming from?
I don't know where that's coming from. It's coming from Marcelo. It's okay. I've muted you for now.
Thank you. The subject property has rectangle shape of land. Subject photo for street view on page number 4. It's a 7th-floor building. On page number 5, my office medical rent comparables. They showed the mean $20.29 and median $21 per square foot. Let's look on my comparables first. We go into the page. On page 27, street view and air photo of my comparables. I have comparables of page 27, it's 1295 Leila Avenue. We can see rent from $22 to $17 roughly. On page 28, 2110 Main Street, we have rent $17 and $14 range. On page number 29, 3360 Roblin, 2-floor building range from $17 to $19 per square foot. On page 30, 395 Stafford Street, 2-floor building, rent $25. On page number 31, 2077 Pembina, it's rent from $20 to $25 per square foot. On page 32, 1020 Lorimer Boulevard, rent $22. It's a 5-floor building. We're going back to my summary list on page number 5. So we have Leila, Main Street, Roblin, Stafford, Pembina, Lorimer, and our media $21 per square foot. If you're going to my page 6, subject property market income estimation, we assess 32,462 square feet at $16.54 per square foot. We did apply same 5.5% vacancy loss, 3% expenses, shortfall 8%. $8 per square foot. The capitalization rate for this property is 7.1%. On page number 8, it's another income stream for taxable and exemption. We assess 14,474 square feet at $15.57. We apply same vacancy 5.5%, 3% expenses, $8 per square foot cost of vacant space, and our capitalization rate 7.1%. Our estimation 2,821,000. Another medical office space for another income exemption split, it's we assess 9,845 square feet at $15.21. Same vacancy 5.5%, 3% expenses, shortfall or cost of vacant space $8 per square foot, and capitalization rate 7.1%. On page number 10, a summary of all this free income stream. Our estimation that market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021, $11,424,000, and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. Mr. Navarro, before we start questioning of the assessor, Carrie, Diane, are you all caught up with your notes and everything on that presentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Carrie, okay? Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Navarro, any questions of the assessor?
These are, again, you haven't deviated from the model at all?
No, it's model driven.
Okay. And did you have a look at the income and expenses for this property and leases? Did you go through the leases?
We can go look together. Please open page. Oh, okay. I did post it like lease only page 25. Summary of charge by charge code, where is rent, $15.80, and we apply close to $15, so it's fair. Do you want to look specific for something?
No, it was just general question to see whether you had actually gone through the leases.
Yes, it's posted in my brief, started from page 13, our assessment notice, and further 14, 15 to page 25. All income expense mailer there.
Okay.
Everything
you.
to provide it to us.
Thank you. Those are my questions.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Diane, any questions of the assessor?
I do not, thanks.
Thank you. Carrie, any questions?
I have no questions, thank you.
Thank you. I have one, Ms. Shable, on page 10 of your 3 income workup there. I'm wondering if you could give me an explanation on the stream 3 total adjustment of $119,000.
Okay, stream 1, it's our taxable. Stream 2, it's institutional property taxable, school exempt.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Stream 1. I'm confused too. Let's open page number 1.
I understand the split. What I'm trying to determine is why there's an adjustment of $119,000 for land value.
Total adjustment land value.
On page 9.
68. It's a taxable party. Something there. I will look in our records right away.
Okay, because
It looks like it's been moved from taxable to exempt, or from exempt to taxable, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the capitalized value is $1,872,479. Then there's an adjustment of $119,000 downwards to make the total value at $1,753,000. I'm just wondering the explanation on that.
I will be see right now. I'm going in our system to make sure I provide right answer.
It appears you're removing the $119,000 from exempt to taxable, I believe.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm checking right now. I am open profile. Court. Okay. What I see in our record, we remove and plus from stream, we remove from stream 3, added to stream 1, it's cancelled each other. I don't see any.
I guess the question is, why was it moved from exempt to taxable?
Okay, I don't have answer. I need to more investigation why it's happened. Maybe in our notes, 1 second. Because cost report doesn't show it me.
Yeah. It's saying on page 9 that it's additional land value of on the property in total, I guess, based on the property in total. And somebody shifted it, as Diane pointed out, removed it from tax exempt to class code 60 tax, because it totals out, it increases the capitalized value by $119,000. It does decrease the exempt value, but
I try to figure out certificate.
I guess my question would be, would the model do that, or would somebody, an assessor, have made that decision to move it there?
Yes, when we did split
Yes.
for 3 different streams, it's when happened. Maybe I should go, I will investigate and I guess I will clean this record. It should be disappears. I don't see any land adjustment for extra land for this property.
Mhm.
So it's just a mistake in our record. Thank you for pointing it. I will clean it.
So where should it be then?
So are we getting an adjusted value on both of them, or like, I guess my question is, do we leave the capitalized value before the adjustment, either adjustment, and revise the total?
Because if you see, it's cancelled itself from stream 3 to stream 1. So,
Right.
and eventually it will be same amount, 11,424,000.
Correct,
Just
but the
ignore.
taxable part should it then be 6,738,107, and the exempt part should then be 1,872,479? If you're going back to the original?
Taxable 685.
If you're not taking it off the exempt, then you got to go back to the original 1,872,479.
No, just what you see on page number 1, how we did split, this assessed value should be used. Taxable part is 6,850,000.
Okay, but that included the 119 added in it, 6,850,000. So if you go to your page, your summary page, I think it is. I gotta find it now.
Yeah, on page
Your
10.
summary page, you have minused off stream 3, which is the 40E exempt, the 119,000. So would that mean that number goes back to the exempt part goes up to 1,872,479, and then your taxable portion under 60T would be reduced to 6,730,000.
It should be reduced for 1,753,000.
Okay, no, that's no. If you're saying it shouldn't be moved at all, if you're saying that the 1,872,479 on page 10 of your thing should not have the 119 reduced, then wouldn't that capitalized value, the market value then be 1,872,479. We would be using the line where it says capitalized value straight across instead of making the adjustment of 119 from one to the other.
Yeah, because the roll is reflecting that reduction. So
Yeah.
the roll is reflecting the reduction of one. The total is the same.
The total's going to stay the same, but the part
Yeah.
is they're going to pay tax on one and exempt on the other. So
Yeah.
where are we adjusting that or not?
But the roll is reflecting the bottom line of the summary, right?
But now she's saying she shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, or somebody.
Okay, I don't have answer, but our value, what we showed on page number 1,
Yeah,
all
except
split, this number here.
except the roll is reflecting the bottom line. Let's start with I'm on page 1. And the
You know,
exempt
it's happened during how it's when we even numbers, when we start to do split from one stream to 3 different, we came across this capitalized value 119,000. We have to put back to be same summary.
well, but
Because it's when you try to split, you usually change number.
No, I know, but but my point
Zero.
is, let's take stream number 3. The roll is reflecting. This is what the roll is reflecting. It's reflecting 1,872,479 minus 119,000 equals 1,753,000. The roll is reflecting that 119 was removed. If you look on page.
Correct. So we estimate value 1.7 million would have to be used.
Okay, but the roll is also reflecting, and I'm looking for the number 1 income stream. The roll is reflecting, I believe, the addition of the 119,000. Am I right?
So,
Diane?
yes, we put
Yes.
this on taxable area because it's when we start to split on 3 different streams, it's just summary of calculation.
Yeah, no, but
to
it's
bring
still
back.
it's still including a value of $119,000 that shifted, removed from the exempt portion, but added back into class code 60T. You see what I mean? It's added 119 over to the class code 60T.
So is the 119 supposed to be exempt or taxable?
Taxable.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Because at one time you said it didn't need to be reduced. That's why we got into this.
No, because I tried to investigate what's
Yeah.
going on here.
Right.
So, okay, my next question is, I hate to go here, but it's a small amount in the original assessment, but why does that become taxable rather than exempt? Can you explain that one? Is that just the process, or?
It's process when we did split.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you. Is it clear, Diane?
Yeah.
Okay, Carrie?
So I'm just going to ask Svetlana, on your page 9, it's saying it's additional land value. So where is this land located? Because I am looking at page 4 of your brief.
If you open page number 10 at a total adjustment, before split on 3 different liability classes, we have 11,424,000. During split, during summary, when you change number ending on 5, 6, 7 to decimal, to example, 1,000, it changed slightly.
We understand that, Svetlana. We're just asking why it went from exempt to taxable, and you don't have the information. for that.
I cannot explain. I
Yeah.
just try, I cannot explain. I will do more
It's
investigation.
land, but we don't even know where the land is
It's
coming
not
from.
land at all.
Yeah, on your page, whatever page
Yeah,
that is,
it's-
Carrie
it
just
showed
said it said
additional
additional
land, yeah.
land value and you're deducting it. So on page 9, you're deducting it as additional land value, and on page
Oh, yes.
page
Yes,
page 7,
I
you're
get it now.
adding
I
it
have
as
answered.
additional
So,
land
sorry,
value.
I get it. It is additional land because it is split happened, and it's air right or something. You know, when condominium has special pay taxes for some amount of land. Okay, no answer. I'm more confusing now. But I will find. I will ask my supervisor.
So Carrie, to follow up on your question, when we, Svetlana, we look at page 4, we look at the footprint, the aerial footprint, there isn't really additional land to be assessed. You're saying it might be air rights?
Yes, it's some maybe air rights, but it's my guessing. I'm not 100% yet.
Yeah,
I have to more investigation and learn this part.
okay. Because there really is no, okay, yeah. Does that answer it, Carrie?
Sort of. I'm just wondering, it doesn't matter at this point, so,
Okay.
no. That's
Yeah.
all my,
Because it's seven floor building and our exemption on different floors, how it's happened.
Okay. All right, we'll figure it out in camera with the information we've got. All right, now where are we? Mr. Navarro, I believe it's your brief we're gonna hear, right? And do we have your brief up? We do. 396 Taché. When you are ready, please.
Okay, so I will start with the property pictures. So you can see this property on the corner of Dollard Boulevard and Taché. And it is a medical office building. And on page 7, you can see the street view picture of it. In terms of highest and best use, its current use, we are now going to turn to the income valuation. So as with the property on Main Street, we use the actual leases because we think that these represent the best opinion of market. And where there are vacancies, we provided a rent in place. But most of the rents in this location have been started recently, relatively recently, so we didn't think that they needed any further adjustment. So there are 56,984 square feet. We've applied a rent of $15.68 for a total income of $893,709. In terms of vacancy allowance, we did look at previous years, 2020, 2019, and 2018. Not significant vacancy here, so we actually did not deviate from the 5.5% vacancy that the assessor has noted in their brief as well. In terms of shortfall, $8 per square foot, we are comfortable with that amount also for vacant space shortfall. Non-recovered expenses of 7% and a capitalization rate of 7.55. So I'll take you through this. Again, that is 56,984 square feet, a potential rent of $893,709.
Mr. Navarro, could you please tell me where you are right now? What page?
Oh, I'm on, sorry, page 15.
15, okay.
Sorry for that. I thought.
No, that's okay. I was still doing your split and I fell behind here. Okay. So we
Okay.
are referring on page 15 to which class
Yeah.
code and which exemption?
I did not do what the assessor did. I'm sorry, but I don't follow their process. So I did this in a completely different way, and I hope it'll make sense to you all.
Okay.
It is on page, your brief page 16, sorry.
Yes, we do this split on page 16. Correct.
So we're doing a percentage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so, well, it's actually based on the square footage of
Right.
each. So it's a little bit more accurate than a percentage. So again, I'll start again. We have a 1975 building, 56,984 square feet, potential income of 893,709. Vacancy, we haven't deviated from the market vacancy that the assessor has suggested, 5.5. 7% management, $8 shortfall, and a other income of 6,988, and a 7.55% cap rate. To this, we've adjusted for $119,000. So I will just take you through that adjustment. So the adjustment is actually referring to zero taché and $0. So these are two land leases that are close by where they actually lease parking stalls. And so that is the reason for the deduction, is we are adjusting for the deduction of parking value. So this location, if you look at the overhead picture on page 6, you can see there that there is not much parking there, if any, but not significant amounts of parking. There may be some space along the back of the building where they might be able to fit some cars, but not official parking. So they have to grab parking from other areas. And this is zero taché and $0. So I hope that explains the reason for the deduction. It has nothing to do with air rights or anything like that. It's simply deducting the value of parking from another location.
So they own those lots, but they're on different roll numbers? That's across the street, I believe. It's across the light?
That's right. Yeah, across the street.
It's a different roll number.
It is a different roll number. Yeah. And it's not just zero taché, it's also $0.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for it. In terms of the way that we broke this thing apart, so that is based specifically on page 12. So if you look at that page, you can see the leases, and we've laid them out. We know exactly what is WRHA and what is St. Boniface Hospital. Okay. So as you know, WRHA receives a school tax exemption. So that would be only a partial exemption, while St. Boniface Hospital, I believe, receives the full exemption. So you can see our breakup on page 16. So we have WRHA class 40S, and we've noted the units there. I don't think it actually includes all of the units. I just ran out of space in terms of that. So 14,474 square feet, or roughly 25% of the total area. And that gives us an assessment amount of $2,511,148, rounded to 2,511,000. St. Boniface Hospital, class code 40E, that is unit 50701, 7,781 square feet. And that is roughly 14% of the total footprint. So 1,406,243, or 1,406,000. The OFS, that is basically the rest of it. So 34,583 square feet, roughly 61%, 6,127,202, 6,127. Everything is rounded to 10,044,000. And beyond that, what I've included is just the income and expense information. So I am open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Ms. Shable, any questions of the applicant?
Yes, on page 12, you apply $15.68 per square foot. It's your estimation.
That's correct.
If you open page 41 of your brief, they showed $15.80, correct?
Which page again?
41 of your brief.
Excuse me, I'm just turning to that page. Okay, just give me a second while I line this up. Okay, can you repeat again?
You apply $15.68, but page 41 showed $50.80, correct?
That's what it
Summary
shows there,
rent.
but based on, again, we've adjusted some rents. And we've included every rental unit in here. So we've come out to a slightly lower amount of $15.68.
Thank you. No further questions.
Thank you. Carrie, any questions? The applicant?
Yeah, just one, Marcelo, did you have or can you speak to the condition of the building?
It's a little bit weathered, so I didn't do a full inspection, but I did walk in to whatever units I could and the floors. So I would say that it's showing its age. It's certainly not a brand new facility like the one on Concordia or some of the rent comparables that we've showed in Bridgewater and those areas. So again, I think that's reflected in the effective age of the property, which I believe is set at about 1972. I don't think it's exactly 1972 because there have been some updates over the years, but I wouldn't say that it looks great. And that's kind of just an opinion. Unfortunately, it's very subjective.
All right. Thank you. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Diana, any questions?
Yeah, I'm gonna come back to this 119,000, sorry. So the parking lot, do you know the roll number for that parking lot?
Let's see. $0.
And it's a total different roll number from 396 Taché, because I'm still trying to figure out why it was added and deducted from the city side.
Okay, I'm going to read out the note. I'm going to read out the note that we have on this.
Okay, thank you.
So referring to 0 Taché and $0, they are two land leases that 3325806 Manitoba Limited assigned to 400 Taché Limited on February 1st, 2017 with the purchase of 400 Taché Avenue. Okay. We pay on behalf of 400 Taché Limited $250 per month for the 8 stalls at the rear of 396 Taché and $850 per month for the lot adjacent to 396 Taché called Dollard.
Okay.
That's about all I can give you.
Okay, all right. That's good, thanks.
Does that answer your question, Diane?
Yeah, not really, but that's okay.
Okay.
I'll be okay. It's just,
Oh, okay.
mhm.
Okay. Carrie, did you ask a question?
And thank you.
Okay. And I have no questions. Any requirement for summary, Ms. Shable?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That concludes 396 Taché Avenue. And you know, I require a 2-minute break. We're going to recess for 2 minutes, please. Thanks, Bella. Okay, we're dealing with, I'll now call the hearing back to order. Last item on the docket today, item number 6, file number 22-3180. Address is 154 Provencher Boulevard. We're dealing with a 2023 realty assessment appeal. No preliminary issues to deal with. And let's see. I have Shay will bear with me 1 second. Somehow I lost your brief here. I apologize. Okay, there we are, 154 Provencher Boulevard. Ms. Shable, when you're ready, please.
File number 22-3180, roll number 06093247-900, located in 154 Provincia Boulevard. Owner is Building Facilities Limited. We are valuing the property as it stands of January 1st, 2023, based on the economic condition April 1st, 2021. This appeal is respect to the amount of the assessed value only. Based on the evidence in this report, it is assessor opinion that the market value of subject property as of April 1st, 2021 is $817,000 and that the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. The subject property medical office located on land area of 9,994 square feet, leasable area 4,140 square feet. Subject property photos red dot on the city map provided on page number 2, more photos of page number 3, and street photo on page number 4. This building occupied by medical, dental, optical, counseling, clinic on January 25th, 2022. It's so our property assistant of January 1st, 2023. On page number 5, it's a zoning C2 commercial. This district intend to accommodate more intense commercial sites that do not have a local or neighborhood orientation. The district intend to include attractive commercial, institutional, recreational, and service facilities needed to support the surrounding neighborhood and broader community. On page number 5, I did provide a cost summary report. And on page number 7, let's look on land sale comparables. I provide 5 selling comparable, same neighborhood like subject property, neighborhood 502, And you can see that it's rent between $53, $16 per square foot, sale $16 per square foot, 61, 67, and land of this property, assessed land value on top, $55.13. Just one of market value of like land. But we're going to income approach. I presented 17 medical dental rent comparables on page number 8. We have Layla, 1099 Kingsbury, Main Street, Tashe. We can see the mean, $17.51, in media, $16.53. Let's look on my comparables. We're going on page number 20. We have same Layla, free comparables between $22 and $16.50. My comparables on 21, it's 1099 Kingsbury, lease in 2019 for $15. It's one floor building. On page numbers 22, comparable 2110 Main Street, $14 per square foot, 2-floor building. Sorry. On page number 23, comparables 400 Tashe. We can see rent from $14 to $22.25. On page 24, 161 Marion Street, and rent for $13.21, 1-floor building. On page 25, 871 Ellis Avenue, rent for $19.20. We can go back to my summary. So our media of 17 comparables, $16.53. We did apply $13.40 on my page 9 for 4,140 square feet. We use same 5.5% vacancy loss for all medical buildings. Expenses 3%, shortfall $8 per square foot for vacant space. In our capitalization rate 6%. So our estimation, we estimate the market value of subject property of April 1st, 2021, $8,017,000. In that, the 2023 assessed value should be confirmed. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Shabo. Mr. Navarro, any questions of the assessor? Marcelo, you are mute.
Okay, you did not deviate from the model.
If you look on page number 9, it's everything model driven.
Okay. And did you look at the individual parameters of this property pertaining to vacancy?
That's why if you open page number 7 on my brief, I provide land value of subject property. If on first land it's assessed at $55 per square foot, in my comparables from $53 to $67 per square foot.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fair assessment.
Okay, those are my questions.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Carrie, any questions of the assessor?
Just one. Svetlana, out of the comparables that you gave in your brief, which one do you think is your best comparable?
If you see, it's 1-floor building on photo on my page number 4, street view. Yes, this building was empty, but you can see it's occupied since January 2022, prior to our property stand of January 1st, 2023, and I provide range of comparables. I have 1 2-floor building comparables and more. If you look for 1 floor, it's, to example, 1099 Kingsbury, $15. Marion, 2-floor, but still $13.21. In Alice, 1-floor building, $19.20. We did assess overall $13.40. It's inside my provided range. It's fair.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Carrie. Diane, any questions of the assessor?
I do not.
Thank you. Ms. Shable, is there a page 4? So is the building now owner occupied, or is that a tenant in place?
It's tenant in place. You see it's occupation permit for medical, dental, optical, counseling clinic.
Okay.
It will be a Lodge Optical Limited occupy. So it's occupied. It was empty. That's why I provide land value as well.
Okay.
And that's why our estimation rent very low
Okay.
to account for everything.
Okay.
This property.
Thank you. And you provided 3 methods of valuation. Are you standing by the income and expense? Pardon me, the income valuation?
Yes, I stand by income valuation, but if you look on land sale, it's fair. It's reasonable.
Thank you. That's my only questions. Mr. Navarro, I'm just going to pull up your brief here before we proceed. When you're ready, please, Marcelo.
Okay, so this is 154 Provencher Boulevard. And if you turn to page 6, you can see the property site pictures and general location. So you can see on page 7 the street view pictures and how it looked a few years ago. So the total leasable area is 2,200 square feet with a basement area of 1,800 square feet. And it is 9,994 square feet of land, zone C2. In terms of the approach that we've used the income approach. We've applied a $16.75 rent to the 2,200. We did not consider the basement area. Where the issue starts is with the vacancy. So this is where we need to focus. So the building has been vacant since 2018. So we verified that 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022. If you turn to page 18, so you can see the for lease sign. I took that picture on October 31st of this year. So just a few weeks ago. It is vacant. So there is nobody in there. So I don't know what to say. Sorry, just above that, you can see the taken October 31st, 2022. I don't know what to say about Ms. Shable's comments. There may have been a proposed tenant, but I believe that fell through. So the building still remains vacant. In terms of the shortfall rate, obviously we've added an additional amount because this building has been vacant for so long. In terms of non-recovered expenses, 7%. And there has been no lack of marketing this building. It has been marketed in general several times, and And again, nothing has come from it. So I guess, at that point, one would maybe want to question whether this is the highest and best use of this property, or whether it's just a reflection of the market. However, we had to note the vacancy amount. So in terms of the rent, I believe we're actually higher than the assessor. So we used a rent of $16.75. Vacancy is where we made our adjustment of 12%. And that is to account for the number of years that this property has been vacant. I mean, when you take into account 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, still most of 2022, and who knows how long this will keep going. At this point, it really is systemically vacant. So we haven't really adjusted the capitalization rate. We have an end value of 383,201, 383,000 rounded. There is some validity to what Ms. Schabel is saying in terms of land value. I mean, I think if there is so little value attributed to this property, reflecting the rent that's in place and everything else, there may be some justification to actually just taking the land value as the value for this property, because it does go higher than the income value, and the income value is just a reflection of the property. I mean, we applied a market rent to it. We applied a vacancy that I think we were actually being kind of conservative on. The other expenses, I think, are legitimate. We've applied a market capitalization rate to it. That's value that we came up with. So, as I said, there may be some validity to what Ms. Schabel is saying about the land value of this property, and maybe that's all it should have, because the building itself simply doesn't have much value to it. If you look at the last picture, it is an old basement which doesn't have much functional use. There would be no rent applied to that area. I mean, nobody would pay extra for that. So, I think we've done our best in terms of trying to come up with an income value for this property, but I mean, I really wouldn't have an issue with the land value coming in at this point. Just because I think it is, Ms. Schabel is right, it would exceed the income value. So I have no problems with coming up with a value based on the land value. But in terms of anything else, I just don't think it's there. So I'll leave it in your hands. I'm open for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Navarro. Diane, any questions? No, pardon me, Ms. Schabel. Any questions of the applicant?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Diane, any questions?
No, it looks like somebody tried to rent it, spray painted it or whatever they did, and then fell through is what I'm guessing. And that is my only comment.
Thank you. Carrie, any questions?
I have no questions, thank you.
Mr. Navarro, I just want to confirm the size of this property. Is the vacant lot when we've got, does that belong to the subject property on would it be the right side of that frontage picture?
Let's see while I just get to the overhead map.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look here and figure out.
Yeah, so just briefly explain that part of it.
Maybe
so yes, it does include the portion that is to the right. And previously, if you can see, you might be able to see in the picture there, they were using it, the adjacent property was actually using portions of it for parking. And I don't think, I think that was an issue. So what happened in the end is that they made kind of like a little walk-through parquet out of that. So there is no longer parking there.
Could I ask what the frontage is, including that, I'll call it the vacant land?
Okay, so the vacant, I mean, that portion of the land?
Yes. No, the total frontage of the property
Okay, so,
on Provencher. I don't know if you can,
yeah, I can.
okay.
So there is 116 feet of frontage on it.
Okay, and your comment about, thanks for confirming that. Your comment about, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the assessor's brief. If you just waits 1 second, I will pull this up. So the assessor is saying that it's 9,000, just under 10,000 square feet, right? 9,994.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And that's what I've put in my brief.
Yeah, oh, you have that in your brief, okay. And
Yeah.
so are you suggesting you accept her valuation of the land? In her,
Yeah, I mean, if the land comes out to, I believe, what did she say the land value was? Around 551,000? Yeah. I don't have an issue with that.
she had calculated, I think, around 50, sorry, Ms. Shable, around ballpark $55 a square foot. Would that be about right?
Yes, specific for land.
55?
But yes,
Okay,
but it's land value of 551. I still calculate building, existing building.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I just don't think that the building has any value.
Okay, I just
It's
wanted
just-
to confirm, put a number on that land that
Yeah.
you seem to be agreeing with, Mr. Navarro.
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, it's $16 per square foot, something or land, because my comparables on page number 7 in this
Right.
range.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. I think we've got the numbers that we will consider. And any requirement for summary, Ms. Shable?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Navarro?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
that concludes item number 6, 154 Provencher. And, excuse me. We have heard all the items scheduled and the hearing is now adjourned. Thank you to both parties for appearing, and you'll hear from us as soon as possible. Thank you.